Hello, so today I'm talking a bit about sleep. Sleep, natural remedies, natural solutions for sleep. I've struggled with sleep difficulties, difficulty getting to sleep, difficulty getting enough restful sleep. Even now, I'm not perfectly out of the woods, but I spent a lot of time online learning about sleep solutions. I even took about a 4 hour sleep course that was free online. And I've learned that what people tell you will help with sleep, the conventional wisdom around sleep, sleep in a cool bed, don't eat before bed, and so on. Well, most of that really doesn't hold true for everybody. That those two suggestions hold true for some people, but not for everybody. So, for example, for me, I feel better actually if I actually find that I feel better if I do eat something before bed, and a lot of people are the same way. They feel better with some fat, some protein before bed, or some carbs before bed. Some people feel better sleep better in a warm bedroom than a cool bedroom. So really, it depends on you. But I'm going to give you here some simple ways of looking at the question of how to sleep better, and some things you can try, specific things you can try. So let's begin. Um, there's three or four main things, three or four. That's five fingers, holding up five fingers, things that can help with sleep. So the first thing I think is to try to discern what is the cause of your difficulty with sleeping. You know, like pay attention to your experience. What's going on in your body or in your environment? What's keeping you up? You'll notice right away. It's like, oh, my body's achy, or oh, my mind is racing, or oh, I'm cold, or I feel kind of bloated and don't feel good in my gut, or maybe you sleep fine, but then you wake up and you're not able to sleep enough. When you wake up, why did you wake up? Notice when you wake up, what are you feeling? Do you have a headache? What are you feeling? So first, pay attention to your inner, your experience. Then pay attention also to your day before you sleep, because really, in the sleep course I took, I forget the teacher, but it's a sleep educator that offered it online, a sleep doctor or a specialist. Anyway, maybe I'll try and find that and include it in the links below. But basically, he said really it's your day, how you do your day, that determines how you will sleep. And I agree with him. In my experience, if I eat a lot of food that day that I don't digest well, or that makes me feel a lot of inflammation in my body, like I've ate a lot of sugar or refined flour or potato chips, because for me the oils in the chips are very inflammatory. For many people, they're very inflammatory. Uh, then a lot of inflammation in my body, achy joints, and so on, will not allow me to sleep. Because when inflammation goes up, I'm pretty sure cortisol goes up as well, and that is your be awake hormone. So you don't want that. You want cortisol to go down, your stress hormone to go down, and you want melatonin to increase at night, which is what naturally happens if your rhythms are healthy, if your hormonal rhythms are as they're supposed to be. So pay attention to your diet as well. You want to eat an anti-inflammatory diet, which means you don't want to eat much sugar. For me, that means, I get inflammation in my body if I eat almost any kind of sugar. Even half an apple will raise some inflammation in my body. But by far, I get the most inflammation if I do a lot of grains. I just don't digest grains well. There's a lot of people like that. I don't digest, and I get inflammation with sugars, even fruit sugars, honey, stevia, or not stevia. Stevia is okay. Stevia is not really a sugar. It's more of a herbal thing of its own kind. Um, I get inflammation with refined vegetable oils, like I said, like in chips, and with refined flour, especially, which means for me, pasta is totally out. And that's what a paleo diet is, by the way. It's a diet that's no grains, in usually low refined sweeteners. And some people, dairy will give them inflammation because they don't digest lactose very well, or which is a dairy sugar. Anything ending with "-ose" is a sugar on the ingredient label. Some people don't, or have inflammation from dairy because of lactose. The other one is, I think, the casein, which is a protein. Anyway, so another thing you can try is leaving dairy out for the day and see if you sleep better. So that's the dietary cause. Then there's the cause like your environment. So, for example, is your bed and your bedroom too cold? For me, I put a hot water bottle down at my feet if I feel like my bed is cold. And that just warms my feet up, and that warms up my whole body, and it's great, and I sleep way faster. I cannot sleep if I have cold feet. And I'll have like socks on my feet with the hot water bottle down at my feet under the covers. So other people feel they sleep better in a cool bedroom. So you might crack the window open a bit. I definitely sleep better with some fresh air, and it's the oxygen for sure. Definitely helps me sleep better. So I leave my window in my bedroom open like half an inch or a centimeter, or depends. If it's winter, I'll leave it open just the smallest crack because I don't want to get really cold in my room because I don't sleep well if I'm cold. In the summer, I'll leave it open more. I wear mask, which I got at the dollar store for like $3. But really, you could make one. And the eye mask just helps me to block out all the light, and that way I find if I'm not woken up early by light coming in the window, because often I'll be sleeping into 8 or 8:30, and I would prefer to get up earlier, but I prioritize my sleep is more important to me than when I get up. You know, the sleep is the number one thing for productivity and a functional, mind and functional emotions during the day. So my sleep comes first in my priorities. And then there's eating. All right, I mentioned that already, but some people feel better if they eat nothing before bed, and others feel better if they eat something before bed. And in fact, I know of a nutritional program right now that's being taught by a woman called her program, her thing is the Whole Journey. That's the name of her place. And she teaches an adrenal recovery program for people for adrenal fatigue, adrenal exhaustion. And she has them eat a snack before bed, a substantial snack. And one of the ones she recommends is like a small handful of cashews and half a banana. And for some people, that really helps them sleep. And it kind of puts the nervous system not in fight or flight, but more in calm, in rest and digest. So some carbs, some fat, and some protein in your belly can help you kind of not be in fight or flight and help you sleep better. For some people, depends on you. So that's environment, somewhat. That's your diet. There's definitely more. And then there's sleep supplements like, L-theanine and melatonin and valerian and GABA, GABA, good for anxiety. You can just have chamomile tea, before bed. There's all kinds of sleep supplements. But personally, I think to just grab a pill, reflexively grab a pill whenever you have a problem is kind of lazy. I don't do that personally. I don't recommend doing that mostly because it costs money, and you can take pill after pill after pill. Many people have and found they didn't solve the problem. So I recommend first step is sit and do a meditation on your problem and look into it. Look at like what's happening when I'm not reflect on what's happening when I'm not sleeping. Sit and actually think and reflect and ask yourself, what do I think is causing this? Is it my diet? Is it inflammatory? Am I eating too much sugar before bed? Or maybe you just got to do caffeine earlier in the day. Maybe you're doing your last cup of coffee at 3, and for you that's too late in the day. Some people I've heard can do coffee right before bed and they sleep because they have a body that metabolizes caffeine very quickly. It doesn't really put them into anxiety or a lot of cortisol. But other people, like me, I can do a little caffeine a few hours before bed, but I got to be real careful with it. But some people can't do caffeine even after like 1 o'clock, or they will not sleep well that night because their body, I think, metabolizes caffeine less easily. It doesn't leave their system as quickly. So supplements. I don't recommend just going reflexively to a supplement, but instead take the time to actually look into what is causing you to be awake. And then don't just do one thing. I say do everything. Change a bunch of things at once and see if that helps you sleep, or change a few things at once and then see if you sleep better. And if you don't, then change a few more things. Make like a tweak to your diet, make a tweak to your environment, make a tweak to your before bed routine, and see if you sleep better. And if you don't, then tweak a few more things. You don't have to do all at once. I know I said that, but really just what I'm saying is you don't have to just change one thing and then wait a few days and change one more thing. At that rate, it could take a long time to solve your problem. and change the thing that you feel drawn to change, the thing that you feel may be what's causing your problem. So the other thing is sleep routines. I've heard from so many people that one of the things that they find really helps them is getting into a routine, because the body is a very habitual, uh, you know, form, so to speak. The body really, if you get into a routine of going to bed at the same time every night, your body begins to go into sleep mode because it's become habituated to that routine that you've created. So sleep routines. So you can ask around. Find friends. Ask your friends who sleep really well. What do they do before sleep, or what have they found works for them? And I know, for me, what I'm doing right now is I actually do tea before bed, which is a mix of herbs that I like, that I find are calming for me. You really want to find the herbs that are calming and feel good to you. I do nettle. Right now it's got licorice and ginger in there as well. It's got chamomile, and I'm going to add peppermint. Now those all have a function, and I know what they are. I'm probably going to take the nettle out. The next time I make that blend, it probably won't have nettle. It probably won't have ginger, and it probably won't have licorice, because I think they can be a bit stimulating for me. And I kind of feel like I've done a lot of them for the past 6 months. So I'm going to take those out and go with just the green herbs and the chamomile, and add peppermint and see what that does for me. I may also add valerian, so kind of shifting my formula. But in short, nettle decreases histamine. So histamine is a herb in the body that or histamine in the body is a hormone that is our kind of allergy hormone. When people have bad allergies and they take antihistamines to suppress their allergic response, suppress their runny nose or their runny eyes or whatever, and they take antihistamines, they're actually suppressing that hormone called histamine in the body. So nettle as a herb is a natural antihistamine. So histamines can also keep you awake. So nettle is a dark green calming herb. It's high in iron as well. For me, it feels very calming and soothing, but it's also an antihistamine. So I've got nettle in there. I've got ginger. Ginger is an anti-inflammatory. As I said, inflammation can keep you awake, so that kind of is warming. Ginger's warming, but it puts out the fire of inflammation in the body. So I've got ginger, nettle. I've got licorice. Licorice is sweet, and it helps kind of open the heart, I feel, and it gives me a sweeter feeling, makes me feel sweeter. It takes stress out of the body, but it can be stimulating for some people. So you want to be careful with that one. I'm not a herbalist, it's just my observations and my learnings from reading. Licorice. I've got chamomile. Chamomile is very calming, especially to the stomach. And I'm going to put peppermint in there, which of course is good for digestion. And very soothing and cooling for digestion, I think. The other thing I'm going to try is I'm going to put a drop of lavender oil on my pillow, and I'm probably going to try that tonight, because I just think that may really calm me down as well. Because for me, I can have a racing mind when I go to bed, and sometimes I don't notice it at first, but after I've been lying there for a while, I suddenly realize that, oh my God, I'm talking to myself constantly in my head, But other people have other kinds of before bed routines. Some people will take a long bath, hot bath, with Epsom salts maybe, which is a source of magnesium, which is the common mineral in the body. In terms of diet, you can eat magnesium. You can eat nuts and seeds, dark leafy greens. Those are very high in magnesium. Avocado has magnesium. Cocoa or cacao is high in magnesium. You don't get any magnesium in meat. There's some magnesium in grains, but magnesium is the relaxation mineral as well. And I understand it even takes energy to sleep. The body, if you're really, really, really exhausted, I think it can be hard to sleep, because it does take some cellular production of energy in order to sleep. So the last thing I'm going to mention, that was a lot. We covered your before bed routine. This is a review, so to trigger your memory. Before bed routine. We covered nutrition a little bit. We covered, going from inflammatory to anti-inflammatory foods. We covered supplements a little bit, and my take on supplements. We covered some herbs, and we looked at your environment a little bit, and looking at the cause, trying to discern the cause, and then resolving that. But there's also the question of what do you do if you wake up? Do you just try and sleep some more? Turn this way, turn that way, try and sleep some more, and then get angry, and then get depressed, and get frustrated, and go, "Oh my God, why does this happen to me?" You can do that, and you can talk yourself. You can talk yourself and think yourself to the point where you feel depressed and angry. And that is so counterproductive to sleeping well or having a good day. And I've done that. So I'm talking from experience. And so what I recommend instead, what they say to do is that if you can't sleep and you've tried for 15 or 20 minutes to sleep and you really can't sleep, then what you might do is stop trying, stop forcing it. It's not happening, and get up, sit up, and do something to take your mind off that for a bit. Read a book, if you're going to watch something on YouTube or Netflix, then turn the brightness way down, do it on just a small screen like your phone instead of on a big screen. Turn the brightness way down and don't turn all the lights on because you don't want to stimulate your brain to being awake, and watch something that's calming. Watch a romance, or whatever. Don't watch a thriller, or even better though is to read or to meditate for a little bit and reflect and look at your life. Look at your problems, look at your goals, look at your dreams, and personally, I have found that some of the most clarity about my life has come to me in those twilight hours when I've been unable to sleep. And some of those nights have been my most productive nights, when I've gotten so much insight about my life, so much clarity about my next steps that I went into my notepad the next day. And what I do is when I'm sitting there and I can't sleep and I've meditated for a while and I've gone deep into a state of quiet and calm, and I've then I've pulled my life into my view, and I've looked at my life and looked at my relationships, looked at my goals and my dreams and how can I achieve them. Then when I start having insights or ideas, I take my phone out and I use my voice recorder and I record. So I can close my eyes and I can record a voice recorded note. And then the next morning I transcribe those notes into text. And that's allows me to stay in that inner focus instead of trying to type it out right away, which would put my eyes looking at a screen, and that kind of would take me out of that inner focus. Because for me, the insights flow best with my eyes closed in that kind of more meditative state. So yeah, I say don't try to force yourself to sleep. If you can't sleep, make use of that time, and enjoy it or make it productive in some way. I think some people even get up and start cleaning, if you got the energy to do that. But there's something about those twilight hours because the minds around you, the world around you is shut off. So there's a deep quiet in the neighborhood and in your house, which can allow you to have a very naturally deep meditation. a very naturally squeaky voice. You might find it's actually a gift that you couldn't sleep. So that's some tips. There's a whole lot of more deeper therapies and things you can do. Rescue Remedy Sleep is a product I also really recommend often, especially if you struggle with nightmares or anxiety, if you know that those kind of emotions are keeping you from sleeping. There's Rescue Remedy, and then there's Rescue Remedy Sleep. You can get either of them I recommend getting them in the spray form, but you can get them in like a gum or tablets as well. Rescue Remedy Sleep is the same product as Rescue Remedy, but it has an added flower to it that helps create a clear mind. Neither of those products will make you drowsy. They don't work that way. They're not like, say, overdosing in valerian or something. Rescue Remedy and Rescue Remedy Sleep are the essence of flowers, of 5 or 6 flowers that raise your emotions up from fear or worry to calm and clarity, or from anxiety to peace. It's uplifting. And you just take a couple sprays under your tongue. And you could do that before bed, and then if you wake up, take 2 more sprays. And I find that will neutralize the energy of fear in my body if I've woken up from a nightmare. So yeah, that's my little sleep course in 19 minutes. Hope it was helpful. There's more ideas, but those are my basic, most helpful ones. please let me know in the comments below maybe what was the most useful or most interesting for you, or what you found that's worked that you might share with other people, with the readers as well. Thank you so much.